Hello and a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Irene Pato from the Nditha Mindset Show. And remember, the Nditha Mindset Show is all about personal development, mindset change, self-motivation, and becoming the best version of yourself. And it is our intention that the content that we give you on the show is spurring you forward, is making you believe in the beauty of your dreams, and it is making you take action towards your goals. And today, I'm so excited and so thrilled to have my guest. Yes, you can see her. I've been trying to get her on the show for forever and I couldn't.
Yeah.
But as God would have it, would have to do it today. And Vera, welcome to the
Thank
show.
you.
All right, so she is Vera Zulu, and she is the Chief Finance Officer at NBS Bank. And I am just really thrilled to have her here, and I can't wait for her to tell us the beauty of her story and how she started and how she found herself where she is and where she's going. And this show is specifically for those people that are in corporate, and your desire is for you to someday rise that corporate ladder and be at the top of it. All right, so let's get in the show.
Okay.
Welcome. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So thanks, Irene. I'm happy to be here. I know
Thank
it's
you.
been quite a task to
Yes.
get me seated,
I know.
but I'm happy to be here. So my name is Vera Zulu. I work for NBS, as you know, as CFO. And my background, went to a local boarding school, Nambuma Girls in Loa, and then I went to St. Michael's Girls Secondary School. I finished my secondary school. I went to college, Polytechnic. I did my bachelor's of accountancy. When I finished there, I also went to Malawi College of Accountancy. Did my SCCA certification.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was a long winding road to get to that place, and I finished around 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I finished, I started work. Been working in the private sector all my life. I've done like 20 years now in the accountancy field.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's taken 20 years literally to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then around 16 years of banking experience. So most of my
That's
career
awesome.
I've done in the financial services sector. So I've been in several banks in various positions.
Yes.
Yeah, but at the moment, this is my third year now. I've
Yeah.
been working for NBS Bank as CFO. Yeah.
Oh wow. So when you left college, did you leave college, get your first degree and go straight into the SCCA, or there was a gap there, you started working? How was that journey like?
When I finished college, I started a job. But as I was working, I also immediately started working for my accountancy certification.
Okay.
So it took like 2 years after college. But I was working and then I was also studying at the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I didn't mention that after I worked for like 10 years, I studied for my master's degree.
Wow.
So I do have a master's in business admin from the University of Derby. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that while juggling work, family, kids, the whole lot. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was quite something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us, talk to us a little bit about your dreams as a young girl growing up. Did you always want to be an accountant, and like, did you have a very clear vision of this person that you've become 20 years later?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Well, I've really always been ambitious. As I was doing my secondary, that's I think the earliest period that I can remember of wanting to be an accountant.
Okay.
So I've always known that I love numbers. I used
Yes.
to love maths a lot, and I've always wanted to be an accountant, and I'm happy that I am one now. I
Yes,
enjoy my numbers. People wonder that,
Yes.
what do you accountants like numbers so much? But
Yeah.
for us, they just speak to us.
Yes.
So I've always had this within me to say this is what I want to be. And I think from an early age, I was always inspired by my mom in terms of how she worked so hard to be where she was. So I told myself that I want to be like my mom. So she's my one biggest inspiration.
So she was an accountant as well?
No, she wasn't
She
actually.
was-
She was in the HR space.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I think I saw her working so hard to better herself. She did her master's when I was in secondary school. So she was always studying. So that kind of push that she did on herself from being a secretary to being a head of HR.
Wow.
That's really what inspired me so much to say, you know what, you can be anything that you want to be. It's just up to you. And it helps to have people that you look up to that will make you wish to be something like them. I was always wanting to be like my mom. So that helped me a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, sure.
That's nice. That is so nice. You've talked about the impact that your mom had on you in terms of like she was the person, the avatar, the person that you look up to and go like, that's how I want to be. Talk to me about now the journey of I'm thinking accounting is for people that are not numbers people, whatever. It must be it's painstakingly hard, right?
Well, it's definitely not easy. You really have to put in the work. You have to put in the time. It actually takes tenacity and hard work to be able to finish all the work and do it with your best of your ability and to convince your stakeholders that, okay, this person actually is very good and knows what they're doing. So you really have to be a hard-working person to make it happen. Yes. And you have to enjoy doing what you're doing. So that helps a lot. I find that in my career, I just enjoy what I do. And I like to continuously learn and challenge myself. You know what, I can be that. I always look forward to say, you know what, I want to be like that person. So that has always been something that has assisted me over the years. Yeah.
So now you're Chief Finance Officer.
Yes.
How did you find yourself in like studying corporate? Let's say for somebody who is working in the financial sector and they're just starting out, or maybe they're 5 years in and they're sort of like feeling like they're in a rut. They're not seeing the light of day, you know? What do you say to that person?
Well, all I can say is it takes time. It takes time. It's taken me 20 years. It's not something that you can get within 2 years because it requires a lot of experience. So I have really gone through from the lowest of the jobs in an accounting office, being an officer, being an accountant, being a manager, done all sorts of work. And such that when I eventually got the opportunity to get into my role, I had the knowledge of what I was supposed to do. And I also had the experience. So for me, it takes time. So if one is feeling like one is in a rut, for me, I say, what you just need to do is say, do the work as if you are the boss. So I always tell some of the girls that I mentor that, you know what, if you are an officer and you report to a manager, do your work as if you are the manager. Such that when an opportunity comes, everybody will know within your circle that this one is already working like a manager. So maybe let's accord her this opportunity. So I see that most people like to wait until the opportunity is presented for them to be ready. What I say is get ready before the opportunity comes. So when it does come, it's just falling on your lap.
That's a very, very important point that you raise. It's almost like you are supposed, wherever you are, you're supposed to be filling up that space so well, in that you are outgrowing the space. And when the next opportunity for indeed you to get out of that position comes, then you're ready for it. It's not taking you by surprise.
You have to be ready.
Okay.
So that you don't wait for the opportunity to come.
Okay.
Make yourself ready. When the opportunity comes, you just move to the next stage. So what I used to do is make myself ready for the next position. And
that is when you're saying make yourself ready, yes, you're putting in the hours, you're putting in like the effort. That means you're also putting in the studying.
You're studying.
What are you doing?
If that next role that you want requires somebody to have an MBA, start working on an MBA. If it requires for you to be a certified accountant and you have a bachelor's only, work on that so that by the time that role comes, you already have that qualification. Yeah, as in the banking sector, if it's a department where it requires specific skill set for a certification, do
Yes.
that certification. Don't wait until the day someone says there's a vacancy, because by that time it will be too late. It will not be for you. It will be for someone else. So I always find that you have to be resilient, hardworking, and also know exactly where you want to be 5-10 years from now.
But not a lot of people know exactly where they want to be 5-10
Yeah.
years from now, you know?
Well, I know what I want
Yes,
to be.
which is
a few
excellent
years
that
from
you
now.
know.
I know
Yes, yes.
exactly what, and I know what I need to do to get there. But well, I just find it maybe surprising that people wouldn't know what they want to be. At a minimum, maybe people should say, what do you like? Ask yourself, what do you like? If you like something, that will show you potential that maybe you, if you work on that area that you like, you can be excellent in that area and be the best of yourself in that area. But for me, I always, maybe from a very young age, I've always known what I want.
Okay.
So an innate ambition
Yes.
that one needs to have. Yeah, and
That's great.
that's a push that helps you to get to places. Yes.
Wow. Okay, so guys, from the boss babe herself, you have to know where you want to be. And when you know where you want to be, then you start taking the action that is going to equip you with the skills, with the tools that are going to ensure that you're ready when that opportunity shows up.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely. Yes.
Right? Okay. But how about, let's say, in corporate institutions, there's an element of you being good at your job, knowing what you're doing, and an element of the people that are supposed to give you the opportunity for you to get to
Yeah.
the next level. How do you balance those?
Well, so that's a very, actually, one of the key aspects is to ensure that your stakeholders know your name. Your stakeholders understand your strength. So it has to be an initiative by yourself to ensure that your boss or your boss's boss know you, know what you do. So you do these things by volunteering work,
Okay.
you know, showing initiative, being proactive. If there's a project, be the one to say, I want to be able to be part of this project. Okay, I want to do this outside your normal space.
Okay.
So in that sense, then some people will start knowing that you do over and above your job. I find that also get people who are with can influence where you can go. They should know about you. So it looks like you really have to be pushy and someone with self-initiative.
Exactly.
Because if you just sit back, the opportunity will not come to your lap. You have to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That is, guys, that is such a key point for those people that are in corporate. Because I think I was reading some book to say that most people, the difficulty that they face, they say when you leave college, you have your first degree and you've got very high hopes of what is going to happen to you in corporate, and you find that you join the corporate and 5-10 years, like 5-7 years, you're still on the same position. And you are hiding at the bottom. Opportunity doesn't see you.
You have to get people to see you.
You have to get people to see you.
Yes. If you're in a meeting,
Okay.
open your mouth. Say something useful. Read. So you don't go and sit at the table and remain quiet. Raise your hand. Open your mouth. Be proactive. Yeah? So people like people who add value.
Yes.
So find out, how
Yes.
do I add value to my boss? How do I add value to maybe another HOD in a different department? By you adding value, people will start noticing you.
Yes.
If they start noticing you, if an opportunity comes, your name will come up. And most times when people are discussing an opportunity at the table, you don't get to sit at that table.
Exactly.
It's other people who sit there. So you have to make sure that the people who sit at a table that will make decisions about other people, including you,
They
have good
know you.
things to know about, to say about you. Yes.
Okay, guys, this is so critical. If you're not in entrepreneurship and you're in corporate, what she is saying are the key nuggets that you need to be grabbing and like noticing, looking within yourself and starting to ask yourself, how am I showing up at work?
Yeah.
What are my goals? What are the value? What is the value that I'm adding? And most importantly, where do I want to go and who do I need to know in order for me to get there? You're not
Yes.
necessarily going to say, okay, it's just going to take that person to give me a favor, but that you are going to do a favor to yourself by starting on perfecting your skill sets that are going to make you be, you know, like one of the favorites to get the next promotion.
Yes. That's what it takes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh my gosh, crazy. So networking is very important.
It's quite actually,
Having
it's
mentors
critical.
and networking and all that
Networking
stuff is
critical.
very important.
People should know your name.
Okay. People should know your
People should
name.
know your name. People who matter in your sphere of influence should know your name. Should know the strength that you have.
Yes.
Should know your contribution. You add value to them, they will give you an opportunity. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Great stuff. So, Vera, you have 20 years in. What are some of the key challenges that you've faced as a woman in corporate? Hi guys, and welcome back to this interview with Vera Zulu, the Chief Finance Officer of NBS, and she is sharing with us some of the key nuggets and lessons that she has learned on her journey as a woman in corporate and becoming the person that she is today. And so Vera, before the break, we were talking about what are some of the key challenges that you've had to overcome as a female in the corporate world.
Oh, thanks, Irene. I can tell you that it really hasn't been easy. It's not an easy road. It's a challenging one.
Yes.
I think, but what I tell myself is when I meet my challenges and I get stressed, I tell myself that's part and parcel of the process. So most of the biggest challenges is trying to juggle being a mother,
Yes.
and having young children, and then maybe pursuing a master's degree at the same time, making sure that you're delivering at work.
Yeah.
You're delivering to the best of your ability and you're delivering 100%. So the fact that I was studying was not an excuse. So you just have to, I think you tend to use more hours, you sacrifice time for playing, you sacrifice sleep to ensure that you deliver everything, and you also get your qualification and deliver at work and be a good man. So for me, just that juggle was quite a challenging space. And another issue is you tend to prioritize your time because you don't have enough time. You prioritize what is important to you, you know, what can add value to you.
Yes.
So time wasting activities do not become part and parcel because there is just not enough time to get everything done. So for me, one of the biggest issues is time. Finding enough time to be everything to everyone, which you can't be. So you have to make conscious choice. Say, what is important to me? What will further my career? Or, you know, I need to work probably over the weekend.
Yeah.
What do I sacrifice to ensure that I work over the weekend and deliver on my promises? So if you make sure that you deliver, you are efficient at work, sky is the limit.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think another challenge is maybe some people may consider some attributes that will get you ahead to be a little bit some people may think that you're pushy or not all very feminine, but I find that one knows where one is going. If one knows where they want to go, and if one knows what it takes to get there, you just have to push and do what you have to do.
Yes.
Yeah. So this listening of people talking about A, B, C, D, E, and F will always be there, 100%.
Yeah.
But you have to learn to choose what you listen to. Keep your focus and move ahead. So the lack of focus is also one of the biggest challenges that many ladies will have.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's just too many things that
happening.
ought to be done. Yes. So you have to make sure that you're focused.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing tunnel vision there. I'm hearing aspects of tunnel vision. I'm hearing aspects of really being firm and, you know, feminine at the same time, but you want really, like, you want to find a place and a time for everything where you're being firm and you're being also balancing that you are a woman and you are being feminine. And I'm also hearing a lot of, like, you know, getting things done, like results. Very key.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely. Because you have to show off something.
Yes.
If you just all talk and you can't show results, everybody will see that this one just talks, doesn't deliver.
Yeah.
But you let your work
Speak for you.
speak for you. You let, if you say something, if you promise something, you act on it and you deliver. I find most people will promise things just to maybe get out of a meeting,
Yes.
but they have no intentions of delivering. I just find that very, very frustrating. But you find that people who are committed and vision-led, you know that if you promise something, you have to deliver. Yeah. So that your word becomes your bond, and people can trust what you actually say. Yeah.
And it's almost like integrity, and, you know,
It's
about
personal integrity.
Yes, it's personal
It's personal,
integrity
yes.
and character and all that.
Personal integrity, character. What do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? So that's also one of the key issues that one has to make a deliberate attempt to plan their lives around. So everything that you see, it has to be a deliberate choice. Yes.
Okay, great stuff. How about, you know how, like, at the bottom, there's so many women at the bottom of the corporate ladder. There's so many women, but as you're going up the ladder, it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
How do we get more women to be part of the decision making, like be part of the boardrooms?
Well, I think we do indeed have a challenge of the glass ceiling,
Yes.
where not everybody shatters it and moves up the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
But I find that I think we're making a little bit of progress. You see a little bit more women than it was before. I remember when I was in college, we used to be like 7 girls in a class of 50. You know, now I'm hoping that it's almost like half of the 50 to be girls. Hoping that maybe in the future we'll have more women with a capacity to lead.
Yes.
Because it's also not just going to be handed down on a silver platter. If one doesn't have the capacity to do it, it will not be given to you. So it's a big challenge at the moment that there are less women. When you asked about lists of boards and membership of board, you count the number of women, there's just a few and the same names over and over.
Yes.
And it's quite a big challenge indeed, because I guess it takes a lot to be better, and it takes deliberate attempts to want to lead oneself to that area. So most people give up easy.
Yeah.
So giving up is also, it's not good to give up easy. So people have to be focused and motivated to say, I want to be the best version of myself.
Yes.
How do I be that? Oh, I want to be that. I
How
want
do
to
I
be
get
the
there?
CEO of this
Yes.
organization. How do I get here? And for me, I also find that I have people who coach me. Because
Oh,
it's
you
not
have a
easy.
coach?
Yes,
That's really
I
nice.
have people who talk to me when I get stressed
Yes.
and guide me to say, here, you have to do like this. So you have to surround yourself with people
Like-
who you can ask for guidance.
Yes.
So that helps to be able to navigate through this life, you know. Yeah. So I have people I'm talking to guide them.
Yes.
But I also have people who are talking to me
Yes.
to guide me.
That is so cool.
And you have to go and ask them.
Yeah.
They will not come to you say, I want to be guiding. No, you have to say, I want to be like that person. Okay. You go to them and say, can you be my coach? Can I be coming to you with my issues so they can guide me?
Yes.
You find that most people will say yes. Actually, they're happy to assist.
Yes.
What is lacking is that first step of
The
saying,
initiative.
The initiative of saying, please, can you be my coach?
That's such a good point.
I don't think I would be where I am without people-
Mentors and coaches.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
So guys, do you see the important, the what we're trying to like talk and preach here at Nditha Mindset, to say that you need coaching.
Yeah.
Okay, you need coaching, you need mentorship in order for you to move from where you are to where you want to go. Because if you keep doing the same things that you've always done, which are happening because of the way you think, you've been thinking the way you've been thinking the whole time, and you're getting the same results, maybe you need a different viewpoint.
Yes.
And how are you going to get a different viewpoint? Is when you engage somebody else who is able to look at your same situation but be able to give you a different perspective on it. So you might get, yes, professional coaches, or you might reach out to people like Vera, people that are leading in the industry. You can reach out and say, you know what, can I be having like a conversation with you every month to see the progress that you're making? It doesn't make you less than a person if you're able to ask for help. It is actually a plus on your journey.
Definitely.
All right?
It adds value.
Yes, it adds value. So this aspect of having mentors or having a coach are really, really, really helpful.
It's very important, actually. Yeah. And I think one other thing that I can mention that is the power of books.
Yes.
And the power of reading.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of wealth of information in books. So you have to find time, cultivate time, and have this passion for reading, and not reading novels. You really have to read practical development books, self-development.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, things that will capacitate you to be a better leader, capacitate you to be a better person at work, how to work with your stakeholders, you know. So I always tell a lot of people that, you know what, most people don't like reading. You prefer to watch a movie.
People don't like reading.
You have to read.
Exactly.
I've got books next to my bedside. You don't have to read one book. You can have several books, 7 books. You can be flipping through. No, as you wake up or before you go to bed. So you just, there's a lot of information.
Yes.
And you can find a lot of books these days over the internet. I have hundreds of books that I haven't finished reading, that I've read and I'm going to read again.
Yes.
You know, because I find I get quite good guidance from books. Yes.
Guys, this is coming from a chief finance officer of a whole bank.
Yes.
Please take it seriously. Read books. Okay?
Yes.
Read books, and it doesn't have to be one book. Whether you're reading 3 books at a time, that is okay. This is what I keep telling us, that people that are really people that are leaders, okay, they are readers as well.
Yes.
And people that are captains of industry, they are always working on themselves, and reading is one of that important skill that you need in order for you to be working on your mindset, because it's all about mindset, Vera, isn't it?
It's what you put in your brain, what you're thinking about, that will influence how you work.
Yes.
Yeah, it's as a man thinketh,
so
is he. Yes. So those are some of the things that one needs to do in order to capacitate oneself to progress in life. Yeah.
So it's not about how you look, all right?
Definitely
It's not about how you look, because I'm thinking, the other day I had a crazy thought. I was like, if it was about how you look, then Barack Obama wouldn't have been president of the United States of America. Do you understand? Because there are people that are bigger, people that are whatever.
Yeah.
But it's all about what's between your ears.
The brain.
The brain, right?
Yeah, and how you sharpen that brain.
Yes.
How you sharpen how you think. You know, how your outlook through life. Be positive.
Yes,
you know? Positivity also creates.
Yes, exactly. Vera, what about this element of women supporting women in corporate? There's been cases where you find that when other women are at the top, they maybe their best interest is not really to see more women coming up, because they're thinking they're going to attack their shine up there. Or we want to be the only one standing there.
I find that very unfortunate, actually. But I've been lucky to say that I've worked actually under women leaders. Okay. And you know, they've had such a positive influence over my life. When I was working at Opportunity Bank, I had a lady boss who was a CFO then. I think she inspired me, Alice Abiru. And when I was working at Standard Bank, I had also another lady boss, Temani, and these ladies really sharpened me. So for me, I am 100% into sharpening other ladies, because other ladies sharpened me. Yes. So I find that the issue of people putting each other down is just rather very unfortunate.
Yes.
There's enough room for everyone to sit at the table.
Yes.
There's not enough people at the table.
Exactly.
So we have to try as much as possible to lift each other as we grow. We lift each other as we grow. Yeah.
Okay. And I see that you, like, over the weekends, you're really working on your body. I know you as a golfer. And I
Yes.
know that you're hiking.
Yeah.
Why is this important to you?
You know, a healthy body will have a healthy mind.
Yes.
So I find that when you go for a walk, it removes a lot of stress from your life. When you go for a run, you come back, you feel rejuvenated.
Yes, yes.
So it's not all just about work. It's also having a balanced life.
Yes.
A balanced mental state, a balanced physical state, a balanced social state, and a balanced spiritual state. So that one has a rounded life. So for me, running, jogging on Saturdays and during the week, I find that it helps reduce my stress levels.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
You're turning up on those Monday meetings very well.
Very fresh,
rejuvenated and
because
very fresh.
I've gone to Chihuahua, down Chihuahua
Yes,
Road,
yes.
I've run 10Ks, so it helps. It helps on the physical as well. Yeah.
And how do you deal with this aspect of, like, okay, I've seen a number of pictures of you where you're surrounded by all men and you're the only woman standing there. How do you balance? How do you find your place in that space and be fully you and feminine, but really making impact at that level?
Well, I think we earlier talked about
Yes.
how there are very few women.
Yes.
And in most cases, where you go for meetings, where you go for all these other work issues,
Yes.
you find that 90%
They're men.
are men. So I've just grown accustomed
Yeah.
to that situation. It's unfortunate, rather, but I've just grown accustomed to say, you know what, I'm here on merit. I'm here in my own right, you know. So I can think, I
Yes.
can, you know, I have earned the right to be here. And I carry myself in that way.
Yes.
And if you carry yourself with that way, people will respect you and you know that you deserve to be there. But it's just unfortunate that you find that in a room of 20 people, you are the only female. And in most cases, you go into a boardroom, you are a board member, maybe 1 or 2 women, and then the 20 other men. I'm hoping our children will have a different situation,
Yes.
where there will be a 50-50 agenda implemented in this
Yes.
country.
Yes.
But I'm hoping we're making progress.
Yes.
You, as you're talking to all these female leaders out here, encouraging them, you're doing such a good job. And I'm sure a lot of people are getting encouraged by this. So you also doing a good job in trying to better this agenda. Well done.
Thank you, and I hope that
Yeah.
I hope that in a small way we can really start making women believe in themselves more and be self-confident and
Yeah.
be okay in their own skin and really feel that what they bring on the table matters,
Yes.
is enough,
Yeah.
is important enough. Okay?
Self-confidence is key.
Self-confidence is key.
Yes.
How do you develop self-confidence?
Well, you have to tell yourself that, you know what, I matter. You know what, I contribute.
Yes.
You know what I say matters. So I think it's talking to yourself and also teaching our young ones from
Yes.
an early age that they're important and they matter. So that as they grow up, they have that self-belief within them. So for me, I've always known that I am capable. I am important. You know, and as you read the books, these self-inspiration books, they tell you, you're important, you
Yes.
matter, Irene.
Yes.
So if you tell yourself these things, you start believing in yourself. You say, there's a reason God you put on this earth.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So you have to, as you go back to heaven, you'll be able to say, what did you do when you were on earth? Irene will say, I motivated others to
Yes.
do better.
Yes.
Yeah, so one has to ask themselves this question. So for me, I believe I am here for a reason. And I know exactly where I want to be in 5 years. I know exactly where I want to be in 10 years.
Wow.
Yes.
2030, she has it all mapped out already.
I hope, but at least I have
At least
a plan.
you have a plan.
I have
Exactly.
a vision
You have
of where
a
I want
vision
to
where
be.
you're going.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to make it work.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
I can't say it's easy. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Oh, wow, Vera,
Yeah.
thank you so much for the nuggets that you've shared with us. And I think before I let you go, what are some of the resources or books that have really, really had a positive impact on your life that you can share with our audience and they can pick up and start to ponder on?
Well, I think over the years I've read so many books,
Yeah.
but I find that there are a few books that are quite key. I've read this book, the Art of War, by Sun
Sun
Tzu.
Tzu.
Yeah, it's literally teaches you strategy.
Yeah.
You have to be strategic about your life. So I read it over and over again, and I have read, Stephen Covey. I like reading his books. The Habits of Very Effective People, 7 Habits of Effective People. I like reading a lot of leadership books.
Yes.
I've also, the recent book that I've read that I enjoyed was Robin Sharma's book, 5 a.m. Club. That one is also, it's got a lot of information.
Almost
That
too
is-
much information.
Too much information. Every
Yeah,
page
I
you're
know,
reading information.
yes.
Yeah. And currently I'm enjoying this book that was co-authored by Estelle Nuka,
Yeah.
The Success University for Ladies. Beautiful books.
Yes.
So several books, and I like reading anything I can get my hands on.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Vera, for
You're welcome.
such nuggets and such wisdom that you've given us. I think for somebody who is in corporate and your dream is to rise in that corporate ladder, you'll be picked up by this show and you'll be picked up by the knowledge and the wisdom that Vera has given us. It's not going to be easy, but if you're determined and you're committed and you're disciplined, if that you believe that is your journey, please push for it and go for it, and the sky is the limit.
The
There's
sky
nothing
is the
to
limit.
stop you, okay? If Vera has done it, then you can also do it.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely. And I am work in progress.
Yeah.
Watch the space.
Oh, she is working progress. I'm looking at her like, oh, she has a dream
No,
car,
I'm
she
working-
has everything,
I am
but
work
she's
in
still
progress.
work in progress. Just like Oprah is still work in progress.
Yes.
All of us are work in progress, guys. Let's keep pushing. We can do this. Thank you so
Okay.
much for having been part of this show. And until next week, it's goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.